welfare of children and young people in the country, about a standard health of living for all children and young people. The newly elected president of YPM, Eric Samuel Keita, underscores the significance of the ceremony, assuring his fellow members of their resolve to live up to expectations for the collective interest of all Gambian children.
I cannot promise you that we will be the best or will be better than the previous executive. What I can promise you is this: you will not, and I repeat, you will not regret electing us into office. I promise you that the faith and confidence you have in us will not be an embarrassment to you, and we will do our best to live up to expectation and even more.
The government of the Gambia has signed and ratified without any reservation the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child in August 1990 and September 2000, respectively. We also signed and ratified the ILO Convention 138 and 182, as well as other protocols and covenants on children. This, by extension, goes to show the strong commitment the government has for the cause and welfare of children and that of its young citizenry under the dynamic and visionary leadership of His Excellency, Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yaya A.J.J. Jammeh.
Speaking on behalf of the UNICEF country representative, the UNICEF communication specialist is Salisedi Singate.
This evening, we not only acknowledge the estimable work done by child-friendly organizations and individuals who promote the national agenda for children, we, more importantly, remind ourselves that more efforts is needed, that we need to continue and further strengthen our support to Gambian children and young people so that they can fully enjoy their rights.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary at Ministry of Information, Communication and Infrastructure, Lamin Kamara, commended the YPM members for their resolve to champion the cause of their fellow children and young people in the protection and promotion of the rights and welfare of children, underscoring the great role played by the local child protection agencies and civil society groups for championing the cause of the children and young people in the country.
The government, under the dynamic and caring leadership of His Excellency the President, has provided the necessary policies and legal frameworks to not only safeguard the rights of children, but protect them from the threats they face and abuses meted against them. In addition, child welfare and education has been at the forefront of government's agenda. The chairman of the occasion, my ministry, Moise, will not relent in utilizing the media to promote child protection and educating society on child rights and their duties.
The awarding of certificates to several recipients, namely Fanta Bai Seka, the Honorary Child Ambassador of the Year, Bakari Baji of Child Protection Alliance as the Child Rights Activist of the Year, Aluke Jammeh of Ministry of Youth and Sports as Child Friendly Ministerial Award. Child Friendly Innovation went to the Gambia Tourism Board and Ibrahima Sise, a local film director. Iliana Jaju of St. Peter's Upper Basic School as Academic par Excellence Child of the Year, and the Executive Director of Child and Community Initiative for Development was awarded as Youth Leader of the Year. The Child Friendly Hero Award went to the Gambian leader, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yaya A.J.J. Jammeh, for his championing of the rights and the welfare of children and young people in the country. The Convention of the Rights and Welfare of Children spells out the basic human rights to which children everywhere are entitled. These are the right to survival, to the development of their full physical and mental potential, the right to protection from influences that are harmful to their development, and the right to participation in family, cultural, and social life. The Convention protects these rights by setting up minimum standards that governments must meet in providing health care, education, and legal and social services to children in their respective countries. Buba SMCC, GRTS.
The Gambia Tourism Authority and partners have been briefing the local media ahead of the 2014 Food and Beverage Festival. Mohamed Bajan was there for GRTS and reports on the exercise organized to update journalists and the general public about developments revolving around the second edition of the Food and Beverage Festival.
Friends, is in anticipation of the forthcoming Food and Beverage Festival. Given the conduction of the Food and Beverage Festival last year, Gambia Tourism Board, in collaboration with its partners and stakeholders, want a replica of the event. Issues surrounding this year's festival, such as its rationale, as well as preparations, were discussed. Aramanjai is the marketing director at the Gambia Tourism Board.
It is important for us to understand the rationale behind the Food and Beverage Festival. We want this product to be here to stay. At least every year, we want to showcase the Gambian cuisine to the outside world and to the Gambians. At least that is when we will appreciate the fact that the Gambia has big talents when it comes to cuisine. And we hope also in the near future we will have this thing even during the summer months, where we have minimal arrivals from the outside world. In a nutshell, that is the purpose of the Food and Beverage Festival, and I urge all Gambians to come in their numbers to support.
As anticipated by the organizing committee, the 2014 episode is conceived as an ideal initiative that is going to have a landmark presence in the Gambia's tourism calendar. The Food and Beverage Festival is set to be diverse since it will entail cultural and other activities. The emphasis of these extras, particularly culture, was further harped on by the NCAC Director of Literature, Performing and Fine Arts, Sheikh Omar Jallow.
The Food and Beverage Festival is yet another event that is to add in the national calendar of events of the Gambia. It's being recognized as part of the national festivals of the country, which is helping in the diversification of our cultural products for tourism. And we at the National Center for Arts and Culture would like to use this opportunity to promote such a product, especially in the promotion of cultural tourism.
Other speakers include the manager of Jakarlo, Ngone Ndao, whose premise will jointly host the festival alongside Green Mamba.
We are trying for this event to be one of the best events, festivals that has been held in the Gambia. So everybody needs to come and see. It's a food and beverage festival, like Julie said. There's going to be a lot of mahal, benachin, nyambe, nyebe, nanburu, mbudake, groundnut cake, wonjo, bui, grilled fish, cow food, pepper soup, you name it. It's all here. So it starts from 2 p.m. and it goes until late.
Fullers and jewelers are invited. There will be a food competition which they can take part in. And the winner obviously will go home with something. So the bottom line is all fullers and jewelers are invited. So the earlier they book, the better. They can call the GT World line as soon as possible. On top of that, there will be a wrestling as well during the event, and there will also be a kids talent show. In partnership or in relation with Miss Awajonga as well, the kids will be giving an opportunity to highlight their talents. The entrance fee to enter the event, which is going to be staged at Jakarlo and Green Mamba, is $100 a flat.
For the manager of Luigi's, who also doubles as the public relations officer of the Travel and Tourism Association of the Gambia, Julie Mayo, the Gambia has more than the highly coveted sun to offer.
We are really just selling sun and sea, and we have a lot of culture here in Gambia. I say we because I feel I am Gambian now after 20 years, I hope. And I'd just like to say that I really hope this festival is going to take off and be a really lovely event for years to come. We certainly are going to have some wonderful food on board. We have everything from benajin, domada, yassa, grilled fishes, also the sweets, which I think are really have been understipulated in the Gambia, the chakri and the namburu, churageta. These are things that the tourists don't get to see very often.
Aside from destination Gambia's peace and tranquility, alongside an all-year-round sunny climate, the Gambia has its unique and diverse cuisine to offer. As alluded to by many of the speakers, a blend of dishes including the country's local food items may therefore mitigate efforts in giving the Food and Beverage Festival a permanent ride in the bandwagon of the GT Board's calendar of events. Modu Bajan, reporting for GRTS News.
That story by Modu Bajan takes us to our first break, but we'll be back with news from outside the Gambia.